I'm Adrienne Curry.
Hi, and I'm Florence Curry.
And we are the owners of Longevity Nutrition.
Longevity Nutrition is a company that serves healthy shakes, energizing teas, sports nutrition, and we would like to offer you good nutrition.
What better way than to think about your health and become healthier? We're here to service you. We're open Monday through Friday, 6:30 to 5, and Saturdays, 8 to 3.
Yes, and we're going to work on that good nutrition, inside out.
That's right.
Hello everyone, I'm Kelvin Tiller, owner of Tiller's Mixed Martial Arts here in Kansas City, Kansas. Here at Tiller's Mixed Martial Arts, I offer boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, and strength and conditioning. We have affordable pricing for adults and children. I am open Monday through Saturday, so please come out and support, and I hope to see you soon.
Hi, I'm Tova Tanner of Royal Cohesive Network. We are a nonprofit organization that work with youth in the local community. Our 4 cornerstones of sustainability are literacy, youth entrepreneurship, homeschool hub, and also gardening. Our mission is to engage people in educational and professional development to enhance sustainability. You can visit our website at www.royalnetwork.org, or you can follow us on Facebook. You can also email us at info@royalnetwork.org.
This episode of Listen Up is sponsored by Legends Comedy Club and Sports Lounge, Kansas City's premier black-owned comedy club where the laughs are on us and the experience is second to none.
So, what's going on, bro?
How you doing, man?
Man, I'm taking it easy. We finally got a chance to make this happen. How you been doing?
You know, it's been a blessing, man. It's been a blessing. It's been cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you've finally called me.
Oh man, look, things been a little busy around the way at the Labnificent Media Group, but I'm glad to make this happen, bro. And thank you for welcoming me into your spot.
Nah, much appreciated, man. Thank you.
No doubt. So, let's get right down to it, man. Introduce yourself to the public, man. Tell them what you do and how long you've been doing it.
All right, I'm Mr. BJ. Man, I am a barber by trade. I am, man, I don't know. I think I'm a little bit of everything. I don't know, man. We just trying to figure it out right now.
Yeah, bro, I know you a barber and I know you an entrepreneur, man. And coming into this event space, bro, and I don't even know what to call it. It's a barbershop. It's an event space. It's dope, man. But we'll get to that in a second. Yeah. Where are you originally from?
I am from Kansas City, Missouri, man, down off of 10th and Chestnut, man.
Dope.
That's where I am from, yep, originally, okay. Yep.
So you're native to the city?
Native to the land, native to the land.
That's dope. So give us a little bit of background information on yourself, man, and your business. Tell us about how you got started and what went into it, bro.
So, I've been 35, by the way. You know what I'm saying? I've been cutting hair for the last 20 some odd years. Started when I was about 12. Was out in Raytown for about 9 years. Decided to, this is my time, my chance, and so decided to open this up last year. And so when I opened it up last year, this is about 14, 15 months in now. And so here we are. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't really know how to explain it, man. It happened so fast.
Yeah, I mean, it did. So how long have you been here in this location?
I've been here last July was my first official year. So like I said, we going on a little past a year at this point.
Oh, so it's new.
This is new, yeah. So it was back in 2020 is when we first opened up.
Okay, that's dope. So how did you get started?
Got started just based off being a barber for so many years, and my thing is I felt like the barbering game itself was starting to try to lose itself, you know what I mean? And so I just told myself if I've ever opened my own personal barbershop, I was gonna go back to the old school way of doing things. And so, you know, and that's kind of like, that was the focus. And so, you know, and here we are, you know, so.
Man, one thing that really catches your eye when you come into your business, man, into your company, is just the aesthetic, bro. It's a real masculine environment, man, but laid back and real, got like a real mellow vibe to it, man. Was that something that you came up with, that you had help with? How did that come to be?
Man, so everything that you see it was all strategically planned for the last 9 years. So 9 years I was thinking about, if I had my barbershop, what I wanted to look like. And for me to do this, it was more or less like, it was already felt like it was like predestined, because it was, you know, it was already in my head. So I knew aesthetically people love old things. You know, it felt like the older the things was, even though people see old stuff, but it makes them feel like they're back at home somehow. So, and I felt like with the aesthetics that I chose, you know, it makes people feel homey on top of, you know, I don't know. I'm not explaining it, but it just, you know, it makes people feel like they're at home. And then I think that was the ultimate goal. And I think I accomplished it.
Make them as comfortable as possible.
As comfortable as possible, man.
Okay. So what inspired you to pursue your occupation as a barber, as well as become an entrepreneur?
So the barbering part of it was, I was a young boy who was getting jacked up, you know what I'm saying? And so you like, hold on, wait, some gotta give. So you tell your mama take you somewhere else. She say, listen, we ain't got no money for that. So you either gonna learn how to cut hair or you gonna pay for your own haircuts. And so I was right at 11 years old when she did that. And I think it was like a no holds barred after that. It was like, this is what I wanted to do. But then when I realized how many people I was touching, you know, from the way that I dressed, the way that I was cutting the hair or whatever, and people just gravitated towards me. And I think that it made it easier to be an entrepreneur compared to saying, hey, I want to work for somebody else. So entrepreneur wise, I don't really know what like led that officially, you know what I mean? But cutting hair, that was like a thing. That's all I did from 11 all the way to 22, you know? So I was a cutting hair fool.
So basically, in a nutshell, this is pretty much all you've ever done.
Yeah. That not necessarily all I've ever done, but this is what I did that made it, the people made it to where I didn't have a choice. You know what I'm saying? Because I was good at so many other things, but the problem was the people always called me, hey BJ, I need a haircut. Hey BJ, I need you. Hey BJ, I need you. And so now you find yourself cutting hair more than anything else that you're doing, even though you could be good at 1,000 other things.
Granted, got you there. So what do you like most about what you do?
Excuse me, the people, man. The people is I think this is what keeps me going more than anything. You know what I mean? That gravitational pull towards the folks. You know what I mean? Because you don't really know what you're doing in that person's life. You know what I'm saying? And so when you sit there and you think like, you cutting their hair is just that could be their escape. You know what I'm saying, from the world for that 30 minutes, you know? And so to me, I love the relationships that I have with my clients, you know what I mean? I love the relationship that I have with new people that I meet in general. So I don't know, it's cool, it's pretty cool.
So with that being said, did you encounter any obstacles along the way, any difficulties? What was it like, your journey going from not being a barber to being I guess a certified professional, you know?
Man, a lot really. You know what I mean? The biggest thing is understanding that something is always bigger than yourself. And I think that was the biggest thing, because sometimes I'm only cutting hair because I love to cut hair, but then you don't realize that people really need you. You know what I mean? People really needed that haircut to make them feel good that week or to feel good that day. You know, so many people that was, you know, thinking about committing suicide, and then just so happened they came and got a haircut, and they was like, bro, I got a haircut and you made me feel so much better. And I didn't even even contemplate it no more. You know what I mean? So to me, it's little things like that I never knew how serious this was. You know, I love cutting hair. I love making people look good. I love, seeing that almost having a blank canvas and you already seeing what that picture is going to be once you finish. And I think that was the biggest thing that drawed me in initially was the fact that so many people had jacked up haircuts and you got to fix it.
Granted, I was a recipient of a jacked up haircut along the way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
we all were.
Yeah, and you got to live with it. So that is what it is. So with that, of everything that you've accomplished, you're an entrepreneur, and you got probably one of the best locations in the city, man, if not top 5. You know what I'm saying? And I can say that, honestly, just from being in a bunch of them, man. What's the biggest achievement in your professional career? What do you hold in high esteem?
Man, right now it's changing every day because I had you go from that little boy who got aspirations and goals and dreams, and then you slowly check stuff off your list, and then you realize the biggest achievement wasn't even the smallest achievement that you had on the list. So to me, I don't know. It's really changing. I'm happy every day that I come to work. Every day is new. I'm learning something new every day that I come. I meet great people every day, like you and so many others. You know what I mean? So to me, the achievement so far is still being in business. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that we are in crazy times right now, and I feel like with me just being in business right now is the achievement. You know what I'm saying? But the biggest achievement so far was me not being scared and jumping off the porch to do this. That was the biggest achievement, was that right now.
So was that at the time, was that an obstacle that you had to overcome, or was it more of like just self-inflicted?
Both. It was both. It was the obstacles that life presented. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, you're young, you black. Are you sure this is something that you can really accomplish? Is this something that you really feel that you can really do? You know what I'm saying? There's so many people that's like, BJay, don't go down there. BJay, don't, you know what I mean? It's so much of that. And then it was BJay, that self-inflicting part, where it was more or less like, oh shoot, are you ready? Oh shoot, this is gonna be a lot of money. This is gonna be a lot of time. You know what I'm saying? Win, lose, or draw. Are you ready for this? So to me, that was a lot of that, you know what I'm saying? But I think once I jumped off that porch and said it's time, I don't think I looked back after that. So I haven't looked back since then.
That's dope. So you had some people basically trying to hold you back.
They was I ain't gonna say hold me back, but I'm gonna say the biggest thing what I'm learning is they're only projecting their fears on me. Okay? And so I'm learning just one of those things of sometimes people only scared based off of their own lives. You know what I'm saying? And so sometimes if they say, well, BJay, are you sure? They're saying, hey, this didn't work for me. Are you sure you want to go do that? You know what I'm saying? Or I was scared to go do this. Are you sure? You know, who's helping you? Or, you know what I mean? So it's a lot of that. So I think, a lot of people just project their fears and their doubts and their worries on you. You know what I mean? But once you can overcome that, I think that's what make you great.
Dope. Do you have any regrets, or you wish you had done anything differently along the way?
No, I don't have any regrets. You know what I'm saying? You deal with regrets, you deal with remorse. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like dealing with neither one of them. So my thing is, you only do something because you was in a position to do it, and you just got to go. So regret wise, no. If anything, I regret that I didn't do it sooner. You know what I'm saying? But then at the same time, I can't regret that I didn't do it sooner because maybe the man upstairs didn't see it for me at the time. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't ready at the time mentally. You know what I mean? So no, I don't have any regrets, man. No.
Okay, that's dope. That's dope, actually, because a lot of people do, but it's dope that you don't.
I regret saving more money to do some stuff like this. You know what I mean? You don't realize how much stuff costs. Let me just say that. So I wish I was in a better position financially, just to say, you know. But other than that, no, I don't regret nothing, because it's a brand new roller coaster ride every day, but it's a good roller coaster ride, you know, roller coaster ride. So I tell people my life is like an amusement park. One day I can go over here and then go around some loops and have some fun, or not like the loops and want to throw up. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it depends on what you ate that morning, babe.
That's what it is, bro. That's dope. Do you have a family?
Yes, sorry, I got a family, man. I got a wife of about, we about to be married almost 12 years. And I got 3 shorties, man. I got a about to be 16-year-old son, very good at basketball, very smart, 12-year-old daughter, very smart, very artistic. And then I have a 9-year-old son. He thinks he's a model, you know what I mean? So y'all looking for models out there, y'all let me know, man. I think I got something.
We may have to chat about that last, all right? Because you know what I do.
Yeah,
so we may have to have a conversation about that. So what type of influence does your family have on you?
My family, for the influence part, is tremendously great in my life. So I didn't have, like, I had a nice family atmosphere, but I didn't have that family dominant atmosphere as far as the man, the husband, the wife, the kids, you know what I mean? The structure, in a sense, you know what I'm saying? And so right now within my life, I try to provide the structure for my family compared to what I know I didn't have. So very family oriented, man, you know what I mean? And so they're big when it comes to why I hustle as hard as I do, the grind that I have, you know what I'm saying? They motivate me to the highest level more than anybody that I know, just because they're who I pay. They pay I gotta pay for everything for it, you know? So for the most part, I think that's the biggest thing is like, yeah, like I do everything for them, you know what I'm saying? So I don't really know how to explain it more than that. Everything is for them, everything. Okay. For those 4 at the house and my 3 dogs.
So what are you most passionate about in your business, man, and whatever it is that you do? What are you most passionate about?
Passionate, man. There's so many different things, honestly. I'm passionate about relationships, you know what I mean, friendships, you know, just stuff that I, you know, that's really it. I value relationships, you know what I mean? And I never know who I'm gonna meet. I never know who I'm gonna come in contact with. So I feel like I try to be as genuine and sincere as a person as I can be, you know what I mean? And I think that's my biggest passion, is being myself, being who I am so people can accept me, and then growing with people. I love growing with people and seeing where we can go. So I think my biggest passion is people, and trying to grow with people and trying to figure out what's next in my life, you know. And I really don't know. I don't really have material things as passion, but I love relationships. So I think that's the biggest thing for me.
Well, that's actually dope, man, because a lot of people don't have that affinity. They don't really respect what a relationship can do for you, or what it can bring to your life.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You know, so that's dope. So with that, out of everybody that maybe you came up with, or that you may know, or even that you do business with, who do you look up to? Who does Mr. BJay Cuts look up to?
Man, growing up, let me just say this. I love people who fought. You know what I'm saying? So I love Bruce Lee, Muhammad Ali, you know, Sugar Ray Leonard, Batman, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like those were my role models. Those were the people who I looked up to, you know what I'm saying? And that was it. And it was like, and it was only because they persevered so much. You know what I mean, in the boxing world, or in the fighting world, you know what I mean, and it takes dedication to become who they were, you know. And to me, those are who I looked up to as far as that goes. And you know what I mean, I love Will Smith, you know what I'm saying, Martin Lawrence, and that was it. But then the people that was in my life, I had, you know, my Uncle Lewis, you know, I had my Uncle Buster, I had my stepfather, you know, Randy. You know, these are the men that I looked up to as far as how to be clean, how to clean my car, how to wash dishes, how to season my food. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to just certain things, it was like only had a few different things, you know what I mean? Like I said, my dad, he went to jail when I was 6, you know, he didn't get out till I was 22. So it was a lot of things that I didn't have in that aspect, but I had some real good men, man, but I ain't gonna lie, my mom is probably the most influential person that I can say, you know what I mean? Because she was everything. She was my Muhammad Ali, my Bruce Lee, my Mike Tyson. She was, you know, she was everything. So my mom, I love you, appreciate you for everything. But that was her more than anything besides the people I had to see on TV. You know what I'm saying? So.
Okay, got it. So, real simple one here. What motivates you?
Family, man. Family. That's what motivates me, man, more than anything. Because if it wasn't for a lot of my family, I don't think I would be in a position that I would be in right now. You know what I mean? I don't like the word humble, you know what I mean? But they are humbling people. You know what I'm saying? And because reason why I say I don't like the word humble is because sometimes you have to dial down your success for other people. You know what I'm saying? And that, I don't like the word when they use it. You know what I'm saying? And so sometimes I understand the meaning of the word, but the dynamics of how people use that word, I don't really like. And so sometimes like, BJ be humble, or JD be humble, you know, or something like that. And you be like, I gotta be humble after sleeping on the couch for 5 years, 10 years, and now I done made it, and now I gotta dial down my success. So that's, you know, family is the biggest precursor for me right now. You know, family, man, family.
That's dope, and that's what actually it should be. So let's talk a little bit, change pace a little bit. So your facility is not only a barbershop, but an event space as well.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yes, I can. So that's even a hard topic to even talk about because it's so much, man. You know what I'm saying? So right now, Mr. BJ have so much space. So yes, it is a barbershop. Yes, it is an event space. It is an art gallery. You know, from baby showers, from the meetings to the video shoots we doing currently, you know what I mean? I'm trying to house so much. I'm trying to make it a one-stop shop. So, you know, maybe you come up with an idea that I even thought of yet, and then we can maybe do that. But as of right now, it's like, I don't know how I came up with this. I don't, JD. It happened. It came to me. it just came. You know how you say, all right, I want a barbershop, and then a year, 2 years later, I'm gonna do this, and a year, 2 years after that, I'm gonna do that. Everything found me right now. That's the biggest way to explain it. Is it found me, and I guess it was meant to happen right now compared to 3-4 years down the road.
You ever seen the movie? I think it's Field of Dreams. They be like, if you build it, they will come.
And I think that's what happened. And because I promise you, this wasn't in the realm of where my mom was at the time. You know, I was like, okay, let's do a barbershop. And 18 months, 24 months after that, we gonna do an event space. You know, after that goes up and get going, then we gonna do this. And what the problem was, you know, then I would have had 3 mortgages, 3 this, 3 that, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You would have had so much more. So for this to be under one roof, like, no, this wasn't planned at all. You know what I'm saying? And it just happened. So like I say, it's meant for this to be something. That's all I can say. I don't know what, and we still grinding, we still building, we still, you know, we still facilitating. Let's say that.
Well, like I say, you're definitely growing, man. You're definitely headed in the right direction, man. So I commend you on that. So,
thank you, brother.
Oh, no problem, bro. So with the way your business is set up, do you work with nonprofits as well as for-profit businesses?
Yes, sir. So we work with a little bit of everything right now, just because we know we just trying to get off the ground and we trying to support so much that's happening. So nonprofits that come in and, you know, from toy drives to haircuts, you know, and those are just two things that we've done so far. Now, granted, we're open to do, you know, whatever else is on the table, but right now, you know, from the toy drives and the haircuts, we've been doing that back to school, and then just normal business people. We've been doing a lot of business, man, with just a lot of different people, man. So I am very open, man. You know what I'm saying? So just, yeah, whatever you come up with, and if it works for everybody, then yeah.
And you partially answered the next question that I'm about to ask you, which is, are you community based?
Right now, we're community based. I'm a part of the Kansas City Crossroad Association. So we are, you know, we talk about from parking to the construction that's going on to the events that's happening. So yeah, so we are. I'm a part of that, but right now I am trying to do a little bit more, you know what I mean, for the community and for, you know, the black foundations and stuff like that that I am a part of, that I'm associated with, let me say that, not a part of, but associated with. And so, but yeah, it's a lot that's happening, and we just slowly trying to build this spider web of network together, you know what I mean? And that's really what it is, so.
That's dope. And shoot, I guess I was gonna ask you, you know, if you give back to the community, but you told me that you do, you know, and you explained a little bit of that earlier, so we'll just bypass that. Are there any suggestions or advice that you have for up and coming barbers or entrepreneurs, you know, that may follow in your footsteps or that just may want to become independent? Do you have any advice or suggestion for them?
Yeah, man, I do. As far as barbers goes, I'm gonna say stay dedicated and stay passionate. You know what I'm saying? That's like the biggest thing. One of the biggest motivation advice that I can give is please don't cut hair for money. Don't cut hair for money. You cut hair for money, you already put yourself in a box. You know what I mean? And when you put yourself in a box, it's hard to get out that box, because, you know, now it's a lifestyle based box. So once you going for lifestyle, then you get into a box and you feel like you have to cut hair that particular way to stay in that box. But when, you know what I mean? So my thing is cut hair for the passion, cut hair for the love, you know, and that's first. You know what I mean? And money will come, I promise you. Money will come if those two things stay there. Passion and love. Please do that for that. Entrepreneur-wise, I would say stay dedicated to whatever you do. Stay motivated. Do not let anybody else come in and like I say, put your fears on you. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to your entrepreneurship. So whether it's from art to poetry to singing to opening up real estate to a detail shop, whatever it is, stay dedicated. Dedication is the key, I promise. And so that's it, man. I don't know. Besides that, I think that's the, you know, some key shit.
So for anybody who wants to get in contact with you, they want to follow you on your social media, man, how would they get in contact with you, man? How would they schedule an appointment? And how do they just tap in to see what's going on with Mr. BJay Cuts?
So MrBJs.com. You can find me there, first of all. If you don't want to do that, you got Facebook, which is Mr. BJ's Cuts Brown, and that's MRBJAY Cuts, like CUTS Brown. We got Instagram, Mr. BJ the Gorilla is that. Booksy, I'm on there, is where you can find me on there. It's so many different platforms, y'all, I'm sorry. But MrBJs.com, let's just start there. I got my own website, find me on there, and that's just it. 816-507-4382, that's my direct cell phone number. 527 Southwest Boulevard is where to find you, boy, down here off Southwest Boulevard. Come through and support your boy, man. Love y'all.
And that concludes our show for this evening. We'd like to thank our guests, our staff, our sponsor, and our supporters for their contributions. But most importantly, we'd like to thank you, our viewers. Be sure and tune in for our next broadcast and follow us online. Thank you. Good night.
Hi, I'm Queen. I'm an artist and an art gallery owner, entrepreneur, jack of all trades of some sort. I'm originally from Dallas. I've owned this business now since May 24th, so it's still pretty new. I just would love for everybody to come, take a look at the gallery and support Black artists, validate Black artists. Let's make sure that we can actually get money in artists' pockets. And if you would like, you can go to our website, thegreenwoodgallery.com, or follow us on Instagram at Greenwood Gallery Tulsa.